I'm going to try to get this 350 olds built up today. Get the crank, pistons, oil pan installed, heads and valve covers. I'm going to be using the factory A4 intake that's on the car. The car's still in commission, so I'm not going to be putting that on. And I'll go ahead and show you some of the parts I'm putting in. This is the rubber two-piece rear main seal I'm going to use. There's a bunch of different seals you can use. This is just the one I picked out that I'm going to go with. I'll use this as an assembly lube. I also got some other assembly lube here. Of course, I'll go ahead and start with the crank. Got my main caps there. Pistons are all cleaned up. The rings are already pre-gapped, but of course you want to check those. New valley pan gasket, but I'm not going to get to that today because the intake's not going to go on. I bought some more paint. This is a Pontiac blue metallic. Okay, I got new fasteners for the heads, new fuel pump. That's my rings. Oh yeah, I got this stuff too. That's the cam. Since it's a hydraulic flat tap it. Here's the part number for this. I'm going to go ahead and install a new PCV valve. I really like these ones the most because they kind of give the engine just a little bit cleaner of a look, and the hose actually tends to stay in place better in my opinion, because when they come from the top they tend to want to do that to the valve. So I've gone with these. They kind of help clear air cleaners a little bit better. I mean, they just give a cleaner look, so I like these. And if it's been a while since you've had a new PCV valve, it's really not a bad idea to just replace it anyways. This one cost me $5. Valve covers, oil pan, oil filter housing. I don't know if this pulley is going to be compatible with my accessories, but when the time gets there, we'll find out. Harmonic balancer. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started assembling the engine, wipe everything down one last time, and then start throwing the crank and rods in. I'm installing the rings now. I'm just checking them with a feeler gauge. I got one in. This is the top compression ring, the very top. This is a 12 thousandths feeler gauge. I'm good with it. I'm gonna leave them as long as they all check out about like that. I think that'll be fine. The top rings, they go in either side. It doesn't matter. These are the second compression ring. They have a bevel on one side, dot on the other. Okay, there's the dot. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a bevel on the other side. Oil rings, they kind of only go on one way. I had to kind of sort through them. When I opened the box, they were kind of just a complete mess. As far as the engine goes, I got the crank in. The 1 through 4 main caps I torqued to 80 pound-feet. The rear I torqued to 120 pound-feet. So if anybody's wondering, I also do have a chart out here I printed off the internet at some point in time. Kind of helps a lot. So I'm going to keep going, hopefully throwing the pistons, and then I'll show you that after that's done. Putting piston rings on is so satisfying. Just make sure you stagger them. Everything's torqued down. Going back through, making sure I got my side-to-side clearance. Yeah, I'm pretty good with it. Oh, kind of shaky. Yeah, I'm good with that. It's going together really good. Yeah, I'm going to install my cylinder heads now. I install my head gaskets with the blue stripe side up. The other side is just a solid blue. So the head bolts, I don't know if I call them studs or not, but they're bolts. Okay, 70 pound-feet. That's what they get torqued to. And they should come with their own lubricant. Yeah, they come with lube. So you put a little bit on the threads, put a little bit on the shank, or where the washers go. Yeah, here's the washers. And these washers, they do have, yeah, sometimes they don't always have a chamfer on them, but these ones do have a chamfer. So that's probably the most critical thing to look out for when you install these. Make sure those washers, that chamfer needs to go up underneath the head of the bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe the cylinder heads down and start installing these, torque them down to 70 pound-feet. Finally. Professional. Here's my timing kit. I gotta say, it looks like a really nice kit considering it's OE replacement. And then this is my camshaft. Here's a number. I don't need that. If I do, it's right there. Didn't come with any lube. Maybe it did, I don't know. Oh, here it is. Well, the engine's coming along. It's got the timing set on, valve train put together, oil pump on. I'm going to go ahead and install the oil pan and the timing cover. Probably go ahead and do the fuel pump as well. Not sure if I'm going to put the valve covers on. I got a feeling I probably end up will, but I do want to prime the oiling system and make sure it's getting oil to the rocker arms before I seal them on for good. Well, it's looking good, I think. I got the old water pump temporarily installed just because it's got all the fasteners in it. So it'll kind of help keep the timing cover set in place. I got my pan gasket, all the silicone laid down on it. I'm just going to let it tack off for a little bit, and then I'll put the pan on it. I just got the harmonic balancer put on, fuel pump put on. I actually got my timing tab in the mail just now, or not too long ago, and I just put the last coat of paint on that, so I'll get that put on tomorrow. I might go get some oil so I can prime the engine tomorrow, maybe get an oil filter as well. Some boxes of stuff. This is a... Where's the part number on this one? There we go. This will hook up to the correct fuel line on a G-body Oldsmobile, because over the years they did switch this fitting size. So this is smaller than the earlier ones, but people say good things about this specific model, so it's just a direct replacement anyways. Also, it did cross my mind, if I can find it, to go ahead and use this nasty thing. Of course I would have cleaned it up. This is a 455 Olds. It's the same timing pointer, and but anyways, because the harmonic balancer is a different diameter, I took this off. The bolts are still loose, but there's no way this would work though. So this one, it goes all the way up to 24 degrees in advance, but either way, that idea wouldn't have worked. I don't know why they did it this way, but this one has numbers on it like a normal timing tab, but the original timing tab, it looks the same except it's got characters on it. So, well, it's got a different kind, I should say. I'm gonna assume that bottom one is 0 and that top one is 10, I guess, but I'm not using it anyways. I got a regular one with numbers, so I'll get that put on. So thanks. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow.